morning. We're going to talk about fighting the urge to smell fresh sawdust because it's bad for you. Now listen, we all know that sawdust smells amazing, but each unprotected breath allows little particulates to enter your lungs and declare battle on your respiratory system. I'm going to show you in this PowerPoint how your respiratory system will have to fight the war against these particulates. I've been on the front lines of the battlefield myself. I've also spent more time than I wanted reading after-action reviews of previous battles. I'm going to explain how not having a dust collection system, a respirator, or open ventilation could end up damaging your breathing abilities. How breathing sawdust hurts. My name is Jeff King, and I'm going to explain how, when sawdust enters your lungs, it can cause havoc. It has been documented that exposure to wood dust is associated with several health effects such as rhinitis, chronic bronchitis, asthma, pneumonitis, nasopharyngeal, and other upper and lower respiratory symptoms, and the intensity of these conditions augment with increasing exposure time. Those are words from a study done in an AMJ Ind medical article. Now, the people who put this article together are very smart people. Very smart people use very smart words. I'm not a very smart person, so I'm going to explain it in a way that I understand it, and hopefully you do. Breathing in wood dust when creating milling lumber or building furniture over time could likely cause one or more of these conditions listed above. If very smart people are listing medical words, very rarely are they good conditions to have. I just so happen to have had to watch a couple episodes of Grey's Anatomy with my wife, so I use that experience to break down what these mean. Asthma is when your airways tighten and it's hard to breathe. Chronic bronchitis is when your lungs become inflamed and filled with mucus. Rhinitis is a combination of congestion, runny nose, sneezing, and itching. Pneumonitis is an inflammation of the lungs not caused by an infection. And nasopharyngeal carcinoma is a cancer that grows in the nasopharynx, which is the upper part of your throat behind your nose. Well, now we learned some fancy words that we can throw around at the water cooler to impress our boss in hopes of getting a raise. I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into why sawdust can be such a menace. Do you have a date with Sally Joe, the ice cream shop, and you don't want to wear your respirator because it'll mess up your facial hair that Sally complimented once? Do you want to listen to your favorite podcast about the atrocities committed in history, so you don't want to turn your dust collector on because then you wouldn't be able to hear your speaker? You should schedule your date a little bit later so you can fix your hair, and you should make a plan to listen to your podcast during breaks, because not protecting your lungs from sawdust is going to reduce the number of dates you can take away your time to listen to future podcasts. When milling lumber, wood becomes tiny particulates that become airborne. Working without proper PPE or ventilation system that will remove the particulates leads to them being breathed in. Not only does breathing in tiny particulates irritate the lungs, wood dust is known to contain carcinogens. The International Agency of Research on Cancer reports that wood dust causes cancer and included it in a 1995 Group 1 carcinogens. Besides, wood contains many microorganisms, including fungi, toxins, and chemical substances, and they may significantly affect human health. Now, hopefully I did a good enough job explaining the dangers of breathing in sawdust. Here are some examples of how to clean the air that you're breathing in a workshop. Fresh air is the most important part of protecting your lungs from sawdust. Taking breaths in a room full of wood particulates feels like breathing in sand. There are a few ways to filter the air in your shop, driveway, bedroom as you replace the wood flooring for the third time at your partner's behest. There are a real nice machine called dust collectors. You plumb the dust collectors into your woodworking machines and they're basically a big vacuum. The article, The Importance of Dust Collection in Woodworking Machinery Shops, found here, It explains that these vacuums suck up almost all of the sawdust into a container so that you don't breathe it in, greatly improving the quality of air around you. Now hear me out. Dust collectors are expensive. There are DIY ways to make dust collection system. Oh, okay, you don't have the space for that, don't worry. I have a solution that may not be as perfect as dust collection systems, but it will severely help you ensure your respiratory system is tip-top so you can yell at your neighbor kids for riding their whizzy scooters too close to your car. The kids are across the street. I promise, it's pretty simple, open air and a mask. Such is what I do. If dust collection system is either too expensive or not feasible within your shop limitations, be ensured that you have open doors or windows to allow wood particulates not to linger in the air you're breathing is also very beneficial. You can also add a respirator or even a simple face mask for extra protection. Adding a mask and open ventilation is a safe option to deal with sawdust being created by the lumber in hobby situations, such as I do. In conclusion, remember when I said you were lucky? Well, now you're really lucky, because I'm just about wrapping up this speech, so we'll all be free of my voice in a minute. Before I sign off, let me recap my rambling. When working with wood, sawdust is created. Breathing in sawdust has negative effects on your respiratory system. There are ways to reduce the amount of sawdust that you breathe while woodworking. There are dedicated setups referred to as dust collection, and there are also just having open doors and windows to allow airflow, followed up by a mask or a respirator. Protect your lungs, people. They're needed to karaoke your favorite death metal song at the bingo hall, because the bingo hall loves you karaokeing impending doom. Thank you.